this video I'm just going to show you how you can use gradients, particularly radial gradients, with Photoshop smart objects, and also for duplication of that smart object. Great interesting designs. So first thing to do, just go over to, and I've got already a layer there, but I'm just going to show you quickly, layer, new layer, click OK, just go over to the gradient. The gradient itself is going to be a Graphic Extras gradient. Find 32,000 or so gradients on the Graphic Extras website. This one's got some transparency at the far end, so you'll click OK. Now I'm going to use it as a radial option. First thing to do, make certain it's selected over there, otherwise you won't be able to apply it. And just apply the radial design. Now, as a smart object, you can apply smart filters. But first I need to actually convert it into a smart object. So layer, smart object, convert to smart object. Right, it's now a smart object. And I can't add any more to it, so you notice it's blocked. So that's that for that gradient. Now, filter, and I'm going to apply maybe a pass blur. I quite like pass blur. It's one of those really nice little tools just to distort. It's not the quickest, and I have to say filters, so you can sort of modify and blur in different directions. And you can create some interesting shapes, especially with these gradients. I say it's not the fastest, but you can really distort the shape in often different directions, just not really so accessible within a tutorial, which unfortunately has a tendency to be very slow, but you can certainly distort the shape just there. Okay, so once it's applied, and it will take a few seconds to quickly apply it, the blur, yes, it's going to do it. Yep, progress. Yes, it does take some time. Of course, you've got all the other blurs as well, blur gallery, and you don't have to just apply blur. You can go with like camera raw filter, change the color, because that's another thing that's unfortunate with smart objects. You just go over here. Of course, you can add an adjustment layer, but most of the options for color are unavailable. So you can just use camera raw to change the color of that. Right, now what I'm going to do, I've got the smart object. Now the underlying smart object, the gradient underline, is still there. So I can just double click on it. So if I want to add to that design, I can actually just quickly change that. Don't have to go with that design. I can modify it, maybe add just a little center there. Maybe I can even recolor it at this point if I want. So I can just go, just change the color. Click OK, exit out, save, yes. You're not actually saving to a file, it's a PSP, just internal thing, and obviously it's now got to process these smart filters. So it does take a few seconds just to quickly update it. Again, not when you're not doing a tutorial, it's much faster. It's just the tutorial seems to make it a lot slower. Right, there you have the design. Now you can just go over here and you can move it around, of course. That doesn't have to redraw the special effects, luckily. And you can just modify that, just move that over and duplicate the design. And just go over like that multiple times. And of course, there's literally infinite amount of designs, and you can distort and warp and modify this actual underlying shape. So now I can actually go over here, edit and transform, and I can apply it and distort and warp it as well. It's great. Again, more interesting designs than the actual design at the moment. Hope you found this quick tutorial